Greetings, folks. This is DC Investing. I talk about topics that help others on the path to financial independence. And it's the end of the year here right now. I'm going to post this a little bit before the end of the year. And if you're new to investing, learning about the taxes for your investments is something super important to do. And if you are investing in a retirement account only, this really isn't the video for you. But if you have a brokerage account and you've done some stock investing, then this is one thing you need to be aware of for your investing, and particularly if you've had some some stocks go down during the year and you're showing a paper loss for the year, it is time to do tax loss harvesting. So if you haven't heard that term, the idea is that you're trying to harvest your losses to offset any gains that you have to make it so that your tax rate is lower overall. And so if you just invested in the S&P 500, I guess the S&P is up this year, so you don't have any losses, but you might have done something poorly. Maybe you invested in micro strategies at its peak and now it's down. So that was MSTR. Um, if you have a loss, the thing that you can do is sell that asset, and then you can also claim a gain on another thing. So maybe your S&P 500 fund, if you invested in VOO and it's up 30% because you bought it on April 4th or April 7th when everything was down, you got a good gain. What you can do is you can sell both of those assets to kind of wipe out the gains and reset the basis that you have in winners, um, and take advantage of the losers that you have. Now, if you don't do this slowly over time, if you don't sell off your losers slowly over time, things tend to appreciate. So over the long run, unless these things go bankrupt, chances are eventually they'll go positive again. But the idea is to kind of sell to to capture the loss and wipe out a gain as long as you have it. So, like, let's say you had something that was down $5,000 and something that was up $5,000. You could sell both of those assets, and the gain will basically wipe out the loss. And so you'd have a net value of zero on your tax return. And so, you had harvested the loss anyways, but you wouldn't necessarily harvest the gain until a future year. And so, it's like you took a future gain now, used a loss to wipe it out, and you basically reset your basis so that your future gain would be lower. And so there's a couple rules about buying and selling stocks. If you sell something for a loss, you can't buy it back again for 30 days. If you do, that's called that enables the wash sale rule, and you basically don't get the loss. And so, you know, the mantra is buy something back similar. If you want to stay invested in that thing, instead of buying the same company, buy something similar. If you had a loss in something like VOO, which is an S&P 500 fund, I think you could sell VOO for a loss and then buy SPY, which is another S&P 500 fund. And so those are two different tickers, but they do the same thing. So, or you could sell VOO and buy VTI or something. Um, so, so you can't sell and buy back into the same security for 30 days. If you wait 30 days, you could buy back into it. So, if you had a loss in MicroStrategy, I guess it's just strategy now. You'd have to wait for 30 days after taking that loss, and you could buy it back again. And who knows if will it go up, will it go down during that time? I don't know. But that loss will wipe out some of your gains. Now, on the gains, it's different. You can sell a stock, harvest a gain, and then buy it right back again, and there's no issues. You made money, and basically, I think it's the IRS wants their money now, and they don't want you to be able to take your losses as easily because that shortchanges their taxes. So you can sell a winning stock, you harvest the gain, you can buy it right back. Um, and what it does is it resets your basis so that when you do eventually sell it in the future, then you know you already harvested part of that gain. You don't have to pay as much in taxes in the future. So that's a really powerful strategy. It's always wise in your brokerage account. If you have some losers, sell them and cancel out some gainers, and then it'll reset your tax or your cost basis in the ones you have gains on. So then in the future you'll end up paying lower taxes when you have to sell those. So there's your strategy. I believe you can overdo it by about $3,000 a year. You can use $3,000 in losses against your W-2 income or your normal normal taxes, but that's kind of limit. If you do have bigger losses than that, that loss can carry forward for future years until you just lose or use it all slowly over time. But then you have to keep track of it's a pain in the butt. But hey, it's worth it because it's $3,000 of a loss. So that's kind of a little nuance there. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I've done over the years that can help you with this. In general, it's just wise to learn how taxes work. If you're going to be an investor, you always want to be getting the biggest gains that you possibly can, and not paying tax on things is a way to get a higher gain. So, now's the time. Do you have some lost losers in your brokerage account? Selling those out and then compensating them for winners is kind of a winning strategy. Or maybe you did really well earlier in the year, and you bought at the lows and you've got these great gains. You sold something, or I don't know, maybe you bought CoreWeave when it was at $40 and you sold it after it had gone up 500%. Well, you got this huge gain. So go through your account and see if there's anything that you lost money on, and wipe out some of those gains, because you're going to be taxed on that stuff. So I guess also be aware that there's a difference between short-term capital gains and long-term capital gains, and sometimes they don't cancel out completely. So if you have a short-term loss, you want to try to sell things that have short-term losses because they work out better. Or if you have a long-term loss, try to sell things with long-term losses, so those work a little better. Also, capital gains do not cancel out dividends. So if you had, say, $20,000 of dividends and $20,000 loss in capital gains, those two do not cancel each other out. Your dividends are going to go in as income, and your capital losses are going to go in as capital losses. And if you have more than $3,000 of losses, that's the limit you can put on your taxes. So, just be aware that other forms of income do not cancel out capital gains. You have to wipe out a capital loss with a capital gain. So those are kind of your thoughts. Hopefully, this little tax advice may help, because the end of the year is just around the corner and tax season is 3 months away, and we just got to be wise now so that we get a lower tax rate in the future, because taxes saved, that's the same as a gain. So like, subscribe. Thanks so much for being here. We'll see you. Bye.